Are we live? Oh wow, that was something. Ooh, what is up, Star Wars fan? Should we run that back? Should we run that intro back? Oh my God, this thing is so sick. Let's run it back. Should we run it back? Let's run it back. Should we run it back? Should we run it back? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. We got a lot to talk about today, Star Wars fans, so let's just dive right into it after that amazing intro. What's up, guys? It's Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars. Did we like the new intro? Did we love the new intro? What did we think about the new intro? Did we like the new intro? Did we like the new intro? We got a lot to talk about today regarding Star Wars movies, ladies and gentlemen. The Star Wars franchise is coming back to the big screen in many different facets, with the Rey movie, with the Mando movie, with all these other movies, with a Shawn Levy movie. We're going to talk about all of it because there's a ton of updates when it comes to that Rey movie. When it comes to this Shawn Levy movie, there is a lot of cool stuff coming out about that, and we got some other Star Wars news, of course, as well. How are we doing on this fine... What's today? Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening. How we doing? What's up, Austin? Thanks. You loved it? Nice. What do we think of the new intro? Dr. Evan, what's up? Cole, how we doing, Cole? Look at the new membership badge. All right, here we go. We got a little bit of stuff to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen, and let's pull it up with this. Membership-wise, we got a bunch of cool things going on here, so let's take a gander over here while I pull this up. Where the hell did it go? Hang on one second. How we doing today? Solid intro. Just solid, Cole? Come on. Get better than that. Get better than that. What's this about a new movie? We'll get into that, Darth Revan, in just a second here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about first. So we got some new membership badges. And not only that, we got some new membership tiers, okay? So all those people who weren't able to get that $4.99 tier because it was too expensive, I understand. So we have a way more affordable tier, which is 99 cents. Now, you don't get the same amount of cool stuff as you did with the $5 tier, but there is also a $9.99 tier, and with the $9.99 tier, you actually get a free lightsaber after 1 year of being a member at the $10 tier level. So that's cool, because there's a bunch of cool, awesome, fun things that come with the memberships. Membership only Discord, membership only live streams, of course, access to the giveaways that we do at least once a month, and of course, some other cool, fun things. But what you also get is a cool badge. So if you look at Cole Reader's name in the chat right now, he's got an awesome cool badge next to his name because he's an amazing member, and that is a one month membership badge, and that would look like this. So that's your 1 month membership badge. Let me there you go. That's your 1 month membership badge right there. Your second month membership badge is that was of course Obi-Wan Kenobi's. Then you got Qui-Gon's with a nice little shadowed out Death Star in the background. That's your 2 month membership. Then I believe it's 3 months. Wait, what is it? 1 month, 2 month, or sorry, new member, then 1 month, then 2 month. So your 6 month membership badge is this Vader, awesome, cool Vader thing. And then your 1 year badge is, of course, the Skywalker lightsaber of Anakin Skywalker. And of course, Luke Skywalker uses it as well. But Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber is that 1 year badge. So the badges are awesome, cool, amazing. Took me hours and hours to finish, so appreciate them. And of course, become a member today. There's new tiers where you got a 99, literally just 99 cents. 99 cents for a membership. That's it. You can find that in a freaking couch cushion or on the streets. 99 cents to become a member. It's the best way to support the channel, and I really do appreciate it. I appreciate it. So it'd be a big help. So think about it. All right, let's get into this news. Let's get into all this fun, crazy news. Let's do it. Let me open up the chat so I can see what you guys are talking about. You underestimate the power of the dark side. I like the new intro. Thank you, Austin. Thank you. Darth Evan says, where's the music from? I haven't heard that version of the Imperial March. Well, it's not the Imperial March. Actually, I found this copyright-free Star Wars themed music, and then I just slowed it down actually to make it sound more like the Imperial March. It was a lot faster. It was like boom, 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 and I slowed it down to 69%. Get it? 69. And then slowed it down to 69%, and then you get the dome. So yeah. It is not the Imperial March. I cannot emphasize that enough. It is not the Imperial March, YouTube. Cole Rita says, that sounds really amazing. What kind of lightsaber is the question? Well, that's a good question. So at the $9.99 tier, if you are a member at the $9.99 tier for a whole year, you get a free lightsaber. Now, I would say a free lightsaber of your choosing, but that could get a little expensive. So it would be a cool lightsaber. Let's put it that way. Now, I'd have to you can come up with your own requests, but I might have to deny the request because if it's like a $200, $300 lightsaber, of course, that's not going to happen. But around that $100 range is where you're probably looking at. Yeah. I love my Obi-Wan, but I should be switching over soon. Oh, nice, Cole. Well, you'll still have the same badge. All right, let's dive into this news. Let's get into this news. Let's talk about this new Star Wars movie that Shawn Levy is talking about. So Shawn Levy, do we know who Shawn Levy is? Let's look him up. Shawn Levy. Give me a 1 into the chat if you know who Shawn Levy is. Give me a 1 into the chat if you know who Shawn Levy is. Austin says, I can't believe the Thrawn is back. I know, it's awesome. It's quite fantastic. You know who Shawn Levy is? There you go. Switch into Qui-Gon or whoever is the next one. Oh. I get you. Yeah. I get you. Yeah, Qui-Gon is the next one. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so Shawn Levy, who is he? Let's pull up his little thing here. Let's pull it up. So this is Shawn Levy. Shawn Levy. I believe it's Levy or Levi. I'm calling him Levy, okay? He directed movies such as The Adam Project, Free Guy, which both star Ryan Reynolds. He also did Night of the Museum. He did 2 Night of the Museums, one in 2009, one in 2014. He did the Real Steel movie. This is a really underrated movie if anybody hasn't seen that. Oh, my face. My big-ass face is in the way. There we go. He did Date Night, which I've never seen, but it's with Steve Carell, so it's probably pretty funny. And Internship is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. So he is a very good director, and he's got a pretty good... Oh, he did all the Night of the Museums, I think. Well, there you go. He did the Pink Panther, too. Wow, cheaper by the... What the hell? This guy's been around for a while. So Shawn Levy is a very, very talented director, and right now he's working on Deadpool 3. He is the director of Deadpool 3, which will come out next year, and he is getting his own Star Wars movie. Okay, so with this Star Wars movie, we don't really know much about it except for the fact that it's happening, but there is some news coming out regarding this movie, so let's dive right into it. This is coming from Variety. Shawn Levy talks... Oops, you guys can't see that. Hate it when things just are cropped out a little bit. Shawn Levy talks about new Star Wars movie, Deadpool 3, and Stranger Things kids aging. Our makeup department is pretty exceptional. So he also works on Stranger Things, which is also cool. This guy's got the craziest background ever. I mean, talking about Night of the Museum movies, Adam Project and Free Guy, which are incredible, and some great comedies as well, but also Deadpool 3 and Stranger Things. I mean, come on. Bring him to Star Wars. Bring him to Star Wars, which is what's happening. What did you say, Darth Revan? I can't quite read that. It's cut off on my end. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's way better. Why you do that? Don't do that to me. Is this confirmed or just a rumor? It is confirmed that he's getting his own Star Wars movie, but it's just a rumor for now on what it's about. So this is what we know, kind of. This is coming from him himself. This is an interview with Shawn Levy. All right, so let's talk about it. Shawn Levy, whose limited series, All the Light We Cannot See, is premiering on Netflix on November 2nd, was supposed to have a packed year film between Deadpool 3 and Season 5 of Stranger Things. Of which he's an executive producer and director of both projects. Wow, so he was going to be directing some episodes of Stranger Things, and of course he's the director of Deadpool 3. With both productions paused due to the SAG-AFTRA strike, which should be over in just a few weeks here. They're finally back to negotiations and stuff like that, so hopefully that will be over soon. Levy has instead been busy promoting All the Light We Cannot See, an adaptation of Anthony Doerr's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel. The series, which has described as more timely than ever, stars I'm not even gonna try. As Marie Lore, a courageous blind teenager living in Nazi-occupied France. Jesus. Okay, this is just the show that comes out on. We're not gonna read it. Okay, let's get down to the Star Wars stuff. It sounds like a cool show. I'm just not interested. We spoke about the mysterious Star Wars movie that impact of the dual strike on the 5th and final season of Stranger Things. He and his concern over the current rise of hate speech and anti-Semitism around the world. So, how important, this is a question that was asked to Shawn himself, how important is Stranger Things in the strike negotiations? Ted Sarandos is reportedly eager to have the 5th season go into production. So, of course, Netflix's hit show is Stranger Things, and they want it to go into production very, very quickly. And since these strikes are going on, it's a little bit harder to do. So this is Levy's response to that question. I can't speak to how important Stranger Things is to Netflix in the strike talks, and I am not inclined to speak on their behalf. I can say with confidence that I think every actor, director, producer, writer, and crew member wants to get back to work. That's true. They want to strike a deal so that they can all get back to work under fair circumstances. Where was I? I think that Stranger Things is a true flag-bearing franchise for Netflix's brand, and everyone there is also hungry to make the next season. However, none of that can happen unless there's a fair and equitable deal made. I'm saying a small prayer that I will already be back at work once this piece runs. So that's not what happened. He's probably back at work writing, but he's definitely not back at work when it comes to creating this show, because the strikes are still going strong. So the next question asked was, the actors are also growing up. All right, we'll talk more about Stranger Things some other time. So let's get to this, finally, Star Wars news. In an interview conducted last year with Mark Ruffalo, he said, you always get the same version of Star Wars each time. Now that you're working on one, how will you do things differently? So that's the question. Mark Ruffalo, I actually didn't even know, said this. He said, when you're doing Star Wars, it's pretty much the same thing over and over again. And honestly, it's probably because Mark Ruffalo watched the original trilogy when he was a kid and now is watching the sequel trilogy and was like, that's pretty much A New Hope, just done over again. And he's not wrong. But the question was asked to Shawn Levy, Levi, whatever, who's working on his own Star Wars movie. So here's what he said. When Kathleen Kennedy brought me on board to make a Star Wars movie, her central mandate to me was, I want a Shawn Levy movie. That's what she said. I want a story and a tone that reflects you and your taste and what you bring to your movies with a Star Wars story. Now, this can go one of two ways. We know Shawn Levy, or at least if we don't know Shawn Levy, you know the movies he's done with Free Guy, Adam Project, Night of the Museums, like really, really good movies. Have you guys seen Adam Project and Free Guy? They're really good. They're both on Netflix, I believe. They're great movies. We know what he is like. He's got a comedic sort of tone to him. He's kind of he's a great director for sure, but he's got a more comedic tone to him. He has a Shawn Levy feel to his movies. And Kathleen Kennedy was saying, we want that in your Star Wars movie. Now, this could go one of two ways. The route of Rian Johnson or the route of... what the hell's his name? Gareth Edwards. Gareth Edwards from Rogue One. It could go one of two ways. You could get the Gareth Edwards treatment, where Rogue One is a freaking masterpiece and incredible, or you could get the Rian Johnson treatment, where they let him do a Rian Johnson Star Wars movie, and it turned out as The Last Jedi. Now, Shawn Levy's probably not working on the next movie in the franchise where it's supposed to be taking the main characters and moving forward, so I doubt you'll have the same outcome as The Last Jedi. But having these directors come in, putting their own twist on the Star Wars brand can be good. It can be good, but it also can be bad. Now, we've seen different circumstances, like Rian Johnson being the most obvious one, but they need a person who's in charge of kind of reeling the director in. And that should be Kathleen Kennedy, but she can't do that apparently. So I'm wondering if you guys are either interested or at least looking forward to this Shawn Levy Star Wars movie? And if so, do you think Kathleen Kennedy should be maybe reeling these directors in a little bit, or what? Dr. Evan says, do we have any idea when this is about to be set? Well, we'll get into that. This movie, where it's going to be set in the timeline, we will get into that in a second here. Rogue One is one of the most underrated Disney movies. I agree with that, Austin. It's an incredible movie. Cole says, I'm going to be in and out, but I'm keeping your tab open for a view count. I'm currently writing a high-speed taxi chase scene through a skyscraper in futuristic Chicago. What the hell, Cole? What are you doing? I feel like The Last Jedi vibe could be perfect as a standalone, but not in what was supposed to be a focused trilogy. That's true. That is very true. I think if The Last Jedi was just a bunch of new characters and not the biggest sequel of all time, where you're supposed to be creating this gigantic sequel to keep the trilogy going, I think The Last Jedi would have been a better movie. But it's not. That's not what it was. And Kathleen Kennedy did the same thing that she's kind of describing here with Shawn Levy. Let's keep reading. Let's keep it going. So I have felt extremely empowered, is what he says, after Kathleen Kennedy told him to do whatever he wants, pretty much. We are in the early days, unfortunately, because the development process was abruptly paused due to the writer's strike. But I feel very empowered to trust my instincts in the development of this story and movie. So they're very early on in the stages of this writing, but it doesn't mean that they don't know when the story is going to take place and what the story is going to be about. They're just in the early phases. What's up, Fearless? How we doing? They're in the early phases of constructing this movie, but they do go into a little bit more of what this movie could be about. So they say, could Deadpool 3 be good practice for Star Wars? The experience that I'm currently having with Marvel on Deadpool is showing me firsthand that it is indeed really possible to find empowered and personal about making a movie within a universe that is bigger than any one film. My Deadpool movie is turning out to be exactly what Ryan Reynolds and I hoped when we started off. So I'm going into the development of my Star Wars movie with a similar optimism and faith that my instincts will be allowed to lead the way. So what's interesting is he's having the experience with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is another gigantic franchise. He's having that experience before he comes to Star Wars. So he's going to have experience working on this big universe like Star Wars is, where his story is not the story. It's not the only story ever being told in this universe. It's just an extension of that story. And I think actually working on Deadpool is going to be a lot better, a lot better. Dominic, what's up? Dominic says, hey, everybody, I'm teaching, but I'm here for a little bit. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, Dominic. That's cool, Dominic. How we doing? So are we really rebooting the trilogy? No, Dominic, we're not really rebooting. If Matthew Vaughn gets his way, we would be, but we're not. We're not. We're talking about Shawn Levy's movie, though, right now. So this is where things get interesting. This is where things get really interesting as to what this movie could be about, because we talk about Adam Driver. Now, Shawn Levy has worked very closely with Adam Driver. So he is close with him. So here's what we have to work with. Since you're close with Adam Driver, could your Star Wars movie be a prequel to Episode 7, The Force Awakens, in which Kylo Ren would be back, or Ben Solo's fall is what they're talking about here. So here's what he says. Now, his response is very interesting. Your words, not mine. Your words, not mine. As you know, Adam is a buddy, and I've always been a huge fan of Kylo Ren, but no comment. If this doesn't pique your interest, if this doesn't get you thinking that this movie Shawn Levy's working on right now involves the fall of Ben Solo or Kylo Ren, he's working on Deadpool 3 with Ryan Reynolds because he's friends with Ryan Reynolds. He did Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. He did the Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds. He is friends with Ryan Reynolds, and that's why he's doing Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds. We're talking about right here that he is very close with Adam Driver, who plays Ben Solo or Kylo Ren. Adam Driver plays Kylo Ren in the sequel trilogy, ladies and gentlemen. And they are buddies. Adam is a buddy. and I've always been a huge fan of Kylo Ren, but no comment. And what he says immediately, because the question is asked, will Kylo Ren be back in your film? Your words, not mine. He's holding his own ass, or saving his own ass, whatever the saying is. Holding his own ass. He's saving his own ass. He doesn't want the word to get out there about what his movie is before it's announced. Now, I don't think we'll get Shawn Levy's movie announced for months and months, I would guess, for a long, long time, because it's probably not anywhere close to being ready to even go into production. But this could be the framework of the movie, the fall of Ben Solo to the dark side. We've been talking about this for the last couple days here, last couple weeks here, about Ben Solo and his fall to the dark side and how important that is for the sequel trilogy, but also for the whole story of Star Wars in general, because Kylo Ren's like the best character from the sequels and a very good character. What do we think? 2024, I guess? No. Well, what, it would be announced? Yes, it would. Yeah. Do you think Shawn Levy's working on a Kylo Ren Fall to the Dark Side movie? A Ben Solo's Fall to the Dark Side movie? Or if not that, maybe a Ben Solo post-sequel trilogy where he comes back to life? I don't know. All I know is this response right here, this whole conversation here of the question being asked is, since you're close with Adam Driver and working on a Star Wars movie, will that Star Wars movie be a prequel to Episode 7 and have Ben Solo in it? And his response is, your words, not mine, but me and Adam are buddies. I've always been a huge fan of Kylo Ren, but no comment. What do we think? What do we think? Working on Star Wars is a whole different beast compared to Marvel. The Star Wars fandom is just so much more passionate about the story that they grew up with and love so much, in my opinion. I completely agree with that. 100%. Star Wars is a way, like, especially the fandom of Star Wars, they're way more passionate than the Marvel fans. Marvel fans are more casual fans, and that's why they make so much money. Well, Star Wars movies make a lot of money too, but that's why they make so much money, because they're appealing to the casual fan with superheroes. It's pretty easy to do. Star Wars fans are some hardcore Star Wars fans like ourselves, of course, like ourselves. But with that being said, doing a Deadpool movie does not necessarily mean that you're going to make a good Star Wars movie there, you know. Fearless says, that would be awesome. I want a movie about Kylo Ren's fall. I do too. But Shawn Levy at the helm too would be incredible. This guy has a fantastic track record when it comes to directing movies. And he's already buddies with Adam Driver, meaning Adam Driver probably is going to need some convincing to come back to Star Wars. After the sequel trilogy and him pretty much making a whole new career of himself outside of Star Wars, it seems like he's going to need some convincing to come back. And if his friend, Shawn Levy, is the director of the movie, I don't think that convincing is going to be all that difficult, you know? I think it's a match made in heaven sort of thing here. Yeah. Cole says, no comment feels like a confirmation to me. Yeah, I agree with that. I'd love to see more of his character too. Jedi Academy? A Jedi Academy would be amazing. If they're giving Shawn Levy a movie where he's getting to handle Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple, with Ben Solo's fall to the dark side, with Kylo Ren, with Adam Driver back as Kylo Ren. The only problem with that is Adam Driver is getting older. Ben Solo would be getting younger, because he would be before the sequel trilogy. Now, I don't think that Adam Driver looks like really old, but it would definitely take some either de-aging, or maybe even not some de-aging, just, I don't know. You'd have to do something. I would say maybe get a younger actor to play young Ben Solo, and then just go from there, you know? Fearless says, we really need a movie like that. I agree. I think a movie with a good director who has a good track record working on a movie that fans want to see, like a Ben Solo Fall to the Dark Side movie. Because if I pulled it up right now, let me pull it up right now. Let's do a poll. Let's pull it up. You guys want to do a poll? Let's pull it up. Let's just pull it up. Let's do a poll. Which would you rather? That's the poll. Which would you rather? A Rey movie or a Ben Solo's Fall to the Dark Side movie? Ben Solo Fall movie. You tell me, the Rey movie or a Ben Solo Fall movie? I honestly think I already know where this poll is going to end at. I think I know. Austin says, will KK retire or will she leave on her own? Well, those are kind of the same thing, no? Will she get fired or will she leave on her own? I think she'll leave on her own, or it will be like she's getting fired, but she'll be saying that it's on her own, you know? Fearless says, I think Driver coming back as Kylo Ren wouldn't be a big problem. He's a more liked actor from the sequels than all the others. I agree with that. I think he is the most liked of them all, you know? Cole says, oh man, I don't know. I want both a lot. I get that, but right now, 83% of you... Wow, 83% of you off the bat want this Ben Solo fall movie over a Rey movie. 83 to 17. 83. That is the 83%. That's the astounding majority of you guys that want a Ben Solo fall movie over a Rey movie. And I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I wouldn't mind getting both, of course. Being able to fix both characters in some sort of way. But getting a Ben Solo fall movie would be so much better, especially if we have a director that we know is going to be good backing it. Shawn Levy directing a Ben Solo fall movie might be the perfect thing that Star Wars needs to kind of get back on track here when it comes to movies, you know? It's me who says, wait, what? Shawn Levy movie about... Wait, what? Oh, what? What's Shawn Levy's movie about? Please tell me. Okay, so Shawn Levy's movie, from what we gather, because we don't really know, this is what we've gathered so far. This is the biggest thing. The interviewer asks him, since you're really close with Adam Driver, could your Star Wars movie be a prequel to Episode 7, which would have Ben Solo, which of course would be Ben Solo's fall to the dark side? And his response is, your words, not mine. As you know, I am very close or buddies with Adam, and I've always been a huge fan of Kylo Ren, but no comment. And this answer pretty much answers the question, will this be a prequel to Episode 7? All of this is pretty much just a giant YES, ladies and gentlemen. YES. So I'd love to see it, because that means you're talking about getting a James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie, this Dave Filoni Mando movie, Heir to the Empire movie, a Rey movie with Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy directing, which is still a disaster, but we'll go over that in a second here, and then a Shawn Levy directed Ben Solo Fall to the Dark Side movie. Yeah. Let's go. I'd love that. Me too. Me too. I think this is a fantastic idea, and it's perfect timing, literally perfect timing. This article came out today or yesterday, I believe. When did this come out? This came out today. Wait, what's today's date? Yesterday, last night. Yeah, yesterday. Came out yesterday, and it was perfect timing. I mean, we've been talking about this whole Ben Solo return type thing for a while here. But let's keep reading to see if there's any more Star Wars stuff. I don't think there is. Yeah, there isn't. Okay. But we got another article to get into here about the Ahsoka show. I mean, about the Rey movie, I believe. Yeah, so let's get into this Rey movie stuff as well in just a second here. Let me see where that poll is at. Let me see where this poll is at. It's up to 86. 86% of you, which is wild. Wild, wild, wild. Yeah. All right, let's get into this other article here about the Rey movie. Okay, so we just talked about this amazing movie that could be Ben Solo's Fall, directed by Shawn Levy. Now we're going to completely switch gears and talk about a Rey movie, which most of you guys don't really want, I would guess. And who's directing it but Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. Now, I really can't say anything bad about her as a person because, of course, I'm sure she's a great person. I don't know her at all personally. But from what her background is in the film industry, I don't think she is a good fit for this role. To direct a Star Wars movie, not even just a Star Wars movie, the next Star Wars movie after taking 7 years off from the movie theater, you're going to do this. It just seems like a recipe for disaster, but let's read what's going on here. Austin says, who wants Rey? You'd be surprised. I think a good handful of fans do want this Rey movie, but I think the majority would not. This is coming from comicbookmovie.com, and it's just coming from some scooper online who may have found the leak of the Rey movie's title. The Rey movie's title. Okay, so let's dive into this. Perfect. Fearless says, I would also watch a Rey movie about the new Jedi Order, even though I'm not a big fan of her character, but I still want to see which route they go down with the new Order, since the old one failed for reasons. I agree with that, but I honestly think it would be a way better plan to go do Luke's Jedi Order first, see how that failed, and then do a Rey movie. Why are you doing the Rey movie first? Just kind of seems out of order, you know? But here is what's happening. We may have gotten the title leaked out for this Rey movie. So Star Wars has a title for Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's Rey-focused movie, and here it is. So, is that big enough? Yeah, perfect. Okay. We've been hearing that Daisy Ridley might be in talks for a Star Wars sequel trilogy lead. Well, that's not true. She was literally walked out for a future project set in the galaxy far, far away for quite a while. But the news was finally confirmed at Star Wars Celebration in London back in April. Daisy Ridley will reprise her role as Rey Palpatine for director Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's movie, which will be set a whole 15 years after the events of Rise of Skywalker. Plot details are still mostly under wraps, but we do know that Rey will be a powerful Jedi Master running her own Jedi Academy when we will catch up with her. So 15 years after Rise of Skywalker is a long, long time, you know? Oh, Keto! Hugh, very, very, very generous $5 holiday. Thank you very much, Keto. Let me go full screen for this. I don't know what the hell just happened. What the hell just happened? You broke my whole operation over here. Very, very generous $5. Thank you very, very much. I did like it already. Okay, cool. He just says, Kylo Ren backstory movie is greater than the Rey movie, I'm guessing is what you're saying. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree. Thank you very much. $5. Very, very generous. Very, very generous. Cole says, I agree. The timeline is still unclear on movie releases, but seeing the Jedi fail first with Luke's forming a different order, in my opinion, makes more sense. Yeah, so getting this whole other thing first would make way more sense. Again, huge shout out, Keto. Thank you very much. That is very, very generous, and I appreciate it wholeheartedly. But let's get back to this article. What we're exploring in this evolution of the Jedi, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy told Empire when the project was first announced, we are moving 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. The First Order has fallen. The Jedi are in chaos. There's even a question as to how many even exist anymore. And Rey's building her new Jedi Order based on the text that she was given and that Luke imparted on her. Well, the text she kind of stole from Luke, but that's a whole nother thing. So what Kathleen Kennedy said here, this was back in April, she said the First Order is dead and the Jedi are in chaos. But what she says here, which is interesting, is there's even a question as to how many even exist anymore. She's talking about the Jedi. How many of them exist? Well, let's just say we talked about this on, when was that stream? Saturday? We talked about this on Saturday. There could be Grogu, there could be Ahsoka, there could be Sabine, there could be Ezra, there could be Cal Kestis. There's a bunch of Jedi that are around, or at least introduced in this New Republic era, that could survive through the sequel trilogy and be involved in Rey's Jedi Order. So it's very interesting that she says it. There's even a question as to how many Jedi even exist anymore. It's very, very cool. So now the title of the movie may have been revealed. So, though, well, we are filing this one firmly in a rumor category. This is just a rumor for now. It could even be changed, even if it is true. Could even be changed, but here we go. From YouTuber Star Wars Meg, if any of you guys know who Star Wars Meg is, still think she's an AI. I haven't had a conversation with her. I still think she's AI. I can't. Guys, listen to her talk. She sounds like a robot. I don't know what to tell you guys. She's a robot, okay? So let's go. She shared some accurate details in the past. Yes, she is very accurate. I must give her that. She's very accurate. She has heard that the Rey-focused film will be called Star Wars: A New Beginning. Now, much to what Darth Revan just said, it could be a working title. It definitely could be a working title. But Star Wars: A New Beginning is the first and only thing we've gotten so far about this Rey movie that has been leaked out. No plot. No, nothing, except for the fact of what Kathleen Kennedy told us herself. It's 15 years after Rise of Skywalker. The First Order's fallen. The Jedi are in chaos. Rey's trying to build up a new Jedi Order. That's all we know. And now we're getting some leakage. We're getting some leakage from the Star Wars Meg herself saying, Star Wars, a new beginning. Now, what's significant about this is this could be the new beginning. I mean, they ended the saga with The Rise of Skywalker. It was the end of the whole entire Skywalker saga. This is supposed to be a new thing, a new beginning. So it would make sense that it would be called A New Beginning. It is a cool little title here. What do we think about the title? Yes, good. Yes, maybe, possibly. Yes, good title. Maybe. A New Beginning. Sounds like a placeholder. It gets the point of the main basic plot across, but not very engaging as a title, says Caleb. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, A New Beginning, it makes kind of sense. Why not just New Jedi Order? Why not just New Jedi Order? Like, that's what the time period's called. Why not just call the movie that? New Jedi Order to me sounds cooler than New Beginning, but New Beginning does kind of get the point across. And think about other Star Wars titles. Star Wars titles have been kind of weird. I mean, you got the Phantom Menace. And have you seen the video that's like every Star Wars title could kind of be rearranged and then they still make sense? Like the Phantom Menace could be episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker could be episode 1. Stuff like that. Like you could change the Attack of the Clones should be episode 3. Revenge of the Sith could be episode 5. Stuff like that over and over again. But A New Beginning would be something way, way different than other Star Wars titles we've seen before. Yeah. Call them Skywalkers. Fearless says, since Huge Wang said the same in Ahsoka series, this could be the title. Oh, he does say A New Beginning. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Huge Wang does talk about A New Beginning in Ahsoka. That's true. I didn't think about that. Good point, Fearless. Anthony says, honestly, all I want is that Rey film to mention the Jedi who they've encountered. Ahsoka, Cal Kestis, Ezra, Grogu, Sabine, etc. is that they exist. I don't want them anywhere near Rey's story. Interesting. Very interesting. You don't want them helping out on this new sort of Jedi Order? Kevin All Kim, what's up? Kevin says, hi. How we doing, Kevin? How we doing? How we doing? Hi. All right, let's keep reading, though. Well, there we go. A little on the generic side, eh? Sure. But it does sound like something Lucasfilm would go with for a title of a movie that represents a relaunch of the franchise on the big screen. It is sort of this relaunch. The Skywalker saga, as it were, is over. And it's supposed to be this new beginning. So although it's kind of generic, it kind of makes sense, you know? Keto says, they can come up with a better name than that. I agree. And I think there's still 2 years until this movie comes, or more than 2 years till this movie comes out, but like a year, probably 2 years until this movie's even officially kind of announced with a trailer, and that's when we'll get the title reveal. So there's a long ass time before we really get to see this official title. So it could change many times over again, even if this is a true title. Even if it is accurate, there's chances it will simply just be a working title. Okay, here we go. Although it might be worth noting that Kathleen Kennedy herself did reveal that work on this movie is further along than we realize. So it might well prove to be the official title. So this movie's supposed to go into production next year, early next year, actually. Star Wars: A New Jedi Order. I agree. I think that's way better. Cool, for sure. So this movie is supposed to go into production in April, I believe, of next year. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see. Fearless says, "Oh yeah, I watched Star Wars, Meg, and she does kind of sound stoic, but I don't think she's an AI. Well, she never changes the tone of her voice. You know, she's always like, it's always like this, and she's always very calm, and she's like your friend, and she's definitely a robot, and I don't buy it." She's never like, oh my God, a Rey movie! Never heard Star Wars Meg do anything like that. She's a robot until proven otherwise. Yeah. But let's keep reading. So this is what Kathleen Kennedy told Yahoo. We've been working on that film for a few years, and all of that feeds into our overall storytelling. which is also very interesting, this overall storytelling thing, because we're going back to the Dawn of the Jedi. We're also going to post-sequels. We're also going before the sequels with the Dave Filoni movie. We're all over the map when it comes to Star Wars. At the beginning of time, 25,000 years before, and then years after. So we're all over the map when it comes to Star Wars, but this overall storytelling, we talked about Dave Filoni having whiteboards up in his office where it's lines connecting to all these different stories that are being told at the same time, from the High Republic to the Bad Batch, to the Mandalorian, to Ahsoka, to the Rey movie, to Dawn of the Jedi. All over the map, he's got whiteboards. They're all connected. All the stories are interconnected, stuff like that. So this overall story that Kathleen Kennedy brings up here is pretty important. So she says, so we've just got to a point now where we got a wonderful writer in Stephen Knight. So Stephen Knight is the guy who did Peaky Blinders. He's the writer now. And we're probably going to see the script in the next month and a half. And this was back in April as well. We've been working on it for quite a while, so we're getting close. So when she said that, she didn't understand that there was a writer's strike happening. So that writer's strike came into effect, and then we just didn't ever they never got the script. So that was, of course, conducted back in April, blah, 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 blah. So this was the tweet that came up here, just whatever. According to the new leak from Star Wars Mag, the title of the Rey movie will be Star Wars: A New Beginning. So can't really, yeah, that's about it. So what do we think? Too much of a placeholder, too generic, too not good enough? What do we think? Not a good enough title? I feel like we ourselves could come up with something better than A New Beginning. I don't hate it like I wouldn't be crapping on it till the end of time, because it technically is a new beginning and it makes sense. I think it's just a little bit too, generic. But what do we think? Let me scroll up because I missed a bunch of your chats and a bunch of people came in. Let's see. Where the hell? Oh, there we go. Salty Texas Rangers says, Salty Texas Rangers in the house. What's up, Salty? How we doing? Caleb says, I'd rather have a Rey movie over a Ben Solo movie on the premise that Lucasfilm will have to de-age Ben Solo. I don't want to see a de-aged 20-something Kylo in the body of a 40-year-old Adam Driver. Interesting, Caleb. Well, let me put it this way. What if they just got a younger actor? Everybody talks about the kid from Stranger Things. Let me pull it up. I forget his name. Something Wolf, Finn Wolf, something like that. Finn Wolf, is it Finn Wolf? Wolfhard. This kid. So everybody wants him to play a young Ben Solo, and I think he's honestly the perfect cast ever. If they don't take him, honestly, I'd be surprised. Let's go full screen with that. Oh my God. Why are we so close to his face? Back up, Finn. Jeez. But he looks like the perfect young version of Kylo Ren. It would be amazing if they got him and sort of did a young version, just like they did with Hayden Christensen in the prequel trilogy. He's a new cast and a younger version so that they can do a full story with him. I think that would be the perfect cast, and I think it would be a good idea to do, just so that you can explore the whole story of the fall of Ben Solo there. Anthony says, Mike, just got here. Kathleen Kennedy's comments on what Shawn Levy could do with his Star Wars disturbs me. She seems to come at things from the wrong perspective. Rey? Ugh. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Shawn Levy getting the ability to kind of do his own thing when it comes to a Star Wars movie. It's cool to an extent because we know Shawn Levy will do a good job. But we also probably thought that Rian Johnson was going to do a good job too when he was given the sort of freedom to do his own Star Wars movie. Now, it's a completely different conversation here because Shawn Levy could be doing something completely different that has nothing to do with any of the legacy characters. But he also could be doing a Ben Solo Fall to the Dark Side movie, which would be extremely important to all these legacy characters. You'd have Luke Skywalker involved for sure, and the parents of Ben Solo for sure, which is Leia and Han. So I agree. Giving him the freedom to do whatever he wants is not the best idea, but, we'll see. We're going to the High Republic. I don't know if we'll go to the High Republic anytime soon in live action. Well, that's a lie. The Acolyte comes out next year, and that's in live action and in the High Republic. But I'm talking about like the High Republic stories themselves. I don't know if we'll be going there anytime soon, Do we even need a new Jedi Order? Well, you got to go somewhere. I think going past the sequel trilogy is probably your best bet, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Also, A New Beginning kind of implies that it's being a soft reboot or starting a new saga. It's more like starting a new saga. It's definitely not a reboot of any kind, but you know. Yeah, no. Cole says, I definitely want them there, but if... Oh, you're talking about other Jedi. But if they want Rey to be the main character, I don't want the others to distract from that. I actually don't even know if Rey will be the main character of this new beginning movie. I think she'll be the person who kind of brought the Jedi Order back, but I don't know if she will be, like, the main character, you know? Yana. Darth Revan says, what order are these movies releasing in? Dave's, James, then Rey movie, or something else? It is something else. So supposedly the Rey movie is supposed to come first. The Rey movie is supposed to be released as of right now, and it's not been confirmed by Lucasfilm or anything. They just have these release slots to fill. So the first release slot, I believe, is May 20-something, or May something of 2026. So May of 2026 and then December of 2026 as well, because it was supposed to be December of 2025 and December of 2026 and December of 2027. So you'd be getting a movie every December from Star Wars, but it's been changed because that first movie got postponed by 6 months because of the writer's strike. So May of 2026 is supposed to be the Rey movie. The Rey movie is supposed to come first. Now that may change, and I certainly hope it changes, but it is supposed to come first. Then it's supposed to be Dave Filoni's movie, and then the Dawn of the Jedi, James Mangold movie. So James Mangold's movie is supposed to come last, which is a little bit strange to me, because if you're going back all the way back to the beginning, we'll see. I just don't know. Oh, Tony, what's up, Tony? Star Wars Sith with a very generous $2 holla says, give me more Kylo. Young Kylo at Luke's Jedi Temple. Oh, yeah. I think that would be incredible. I really want it to happen, especially, and I know you're probably just coming in here, Star Wars Sith right now. If Shawn Levy is at the helm, if Shawn Levy's directing with his good pal Adam Driver by his side, as a young Ben Solo working his way up through the Jedi Temple, that would be incredible. You could get a younger actor to play the flashback scenes of a very young Ben Solo training with Luke Skywalker, and then you can have Ben Solo himself, Adam Driver, playing the role in a current sort of time period as he falls to the dark side. Think about it. You can bring back Palpatine. Somehow Palpatine returned again. You can bring back Palpatine in a better way, where he's pulling the strings behind the scenes, or even just bring back Snoke in place of Palpatine. And you can get to see Ben Solo's real fall to the dark side. It would be incredible. Thanks again, Tony. Very, very generous. $2. Very generous. Well, we got a bunch more people here. I said it at the top of the stream, but let's keep it going. We got 3 levels of memberships now. We got a Padawan tier, a Knight tier, and a Master tier. The Padawan tier is only 99 cents. So if you can find 99 cents in your couch cushion or on the streets, 99 cents, that's it to become a member. You get awesome, cool stuff like access to giveaways that we do once a month and stuff like that. We have the $5 tier still, which is the Knight tier, which you get some other cool things as well. And then the $9.99 tier, which is $10 a month. If you stay that $9.99 for $10 a month, you actually get a free lightsaber after 1 year. And that's kind of my whole become a member type thing. I'm persuading you by giving you a free lightsaber after the 1 year, because all your awesome support will be worth it in the long run. So if you want to become a member, you can either become for very, very cheap at the 99 cents, not even $1, 99 cents tier, or all the way up to $10, where you'll get a free lightsaber at the end of 1 year, which will be awesome. But let me go catch up on these chats again. Very thank you to Tony for the very generous $2. Where did I leave off here? So yeah, it goes Rey movie, then Dave movie, then James Mangold movie. Yeah. Anthony says, hence why I don't see them anywhere in Rey's airspace, talking about the other Jedi. We already saw what happened to established legacy characters when you put them in Rey's reach in the sequel trilogy. Leave them out of the picture. I don't know if that's Rey's fault, though. That's more of the writer's thing, you know? Yeah. Salty says, unfortunately, Adam Driver is 6 years older than he was now, though. Yeah, that's true. He is definitely older, but he doesn't, look way older. He could play, a Ben Solo as he falls to the dark side, because Ben Solo falls to the dark side like very close to the sequel trilogy within a few years. You know? Caleb Richardson says that could be a cool idea. Different sects of light side force users that are all vying for a void left in the old Jedi Order, and Rey is trying to unite them under one banner of the new Jedi Order. That would be very cool. I think you'll have different Jedi Orders. Cal Kestis is doing something on Tanalorr with Bode's daughter. Like, he's training her, and they're doing something. At some point, they're going to come into contact with Ahsoka or Ezra or Sabine, who, of course, are doing their own thing on Peridia. Like, there's a bunch of different people who could come around that are Force users that could create their own Jedi Order. I just don't know if Rey's the one to do it, you know? You know? Not Adam Driver, Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things as a young Ben Solo. Well, then he would make the perfect age as a young Ben Solo, you know? I like the retelling of the Knights of Ren, but in a movie. I know. So the Knights of Ren are kind of just tossed to the side in the sequel trilogy. You rarely see the Knights of Ren actually do something cool in the sequels. They're actually look really cool, and in The Force Awakens you're like, ooh, I hope we see more of them, and then they're like, no, we're not going to give you more of them. Actually, we will, but when we do, they'll look really stupid, and that's the Knights of Ren. So I do hope we get more Knights of Ren for sure. Darth Revan says, when did we talk about Dave Filoni's whiteboard? I don't remember. Is there a photo? No, there's no photo of the whiteboard. Dave Filoni has just talked about in an interview in the past about all these different whiteboards in his office and how they're all interconnected to each other. Oh my God, Tony became a Padawan at the Tony became a member at the Padawan level. Tony, very generous. Thank you. You are a member of the people who love Star Wars. Thanks, Tony. That's very generous. Another member. Thanks, Tony. Welcome to the people who love Star Wars. Let me go back up to here. Yeah, so there was no photo. There was no photo of that whiteboards in his office or whatever. It was more just like him saying in an interview. Let me try and I don't know if I can find that interview. Let me try just real quick. Dave Filoni. Let me actually go to YouTube instead. YouTube. Did anybody else see this interview with Dave Filoni? Dave Filoni whiteboard interview, I guess. Let's see if that happens. Dave Filoni might be in this hour-long interview. We can't find that. We're not going to be able to find that. All right, whatever. I'll find it for you next stream. Darth Revan, I promise. I promise. Anthony says, it sounds a lot like Kathleen Kennedy intention is to have the Rey movie be the next theatrical release. Shock horror. It's company suicide if you ask me. The Mandoverse should be next. Well, yeah, here's the thing. Here's the problem. Is Kathleen Kennedy doesn't understand that when you go out of the movie theaters with Star Wars for 7 years, coming back with a Rey movie after the sequel trilogy just kind of did its own thing. After the sequel trilogy was such a pulling apart of the Star Wars fandom, like drastically just taking Star Wars fans and just throwing them on two separate sides of The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, going back to the sequels for your next theatrical release is a disaster. It's a stupid plan, and it's really, really dumb, especially when you have the Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie in the chamber. It's going to come out a little bit later, but I would rather wait 7.5 years or 6.5 years, whatever it is, 7.5 years for a Star Wars movie than 7 years and get the Rey movie. Sure, I want the Rey movie eventually, but to have it be the first movie is not a good idea. It's not a good idea at all. It's just not. Not at all. Nope. Not in the slightest. I have a bad feeling about the sequel trilogy will be I have a bad feeling that the sequel trilogy will be headed to Kathleen Kennedy's High Republic. You think the High Republic will be like the next sequel trilogy? I don't think so. I think the problem that the High Republic had was that, the sequel trilogy there was no plan. The High Republic is the exact opposite. The High Republic is sort of all planned out. There's 3 phases. Each phase has three main storybooks, and then it's a trilogy, and a trilogy, I believe. Somebody help me out. I'm not caught up on the High Republic, but I did read all of phase 1. And it's supposed to be this well thought out story. And that's what the sequels wasn't. It was somehow Palpatine returned last minute. It was, we're going to give Rian Johnson the sequels, and whatever he does with it, then we're going to just go from there. The High Republic's already planned out. Yeah. Star Wars Sith says, yes, sir, got to show my love and support. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate it a whole lot, Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sear Speed Reviews, a Star Wars channel, says, yeah, it did. Major divide in the fandom. Let the sequels die. I get that. I totally get that. And a lot of people are on the same page as you, and I'm just not there. The sequels are canon. They're going to sadly remain canon because a lot of fans like them. I don't know. There's a lot of fans that do like the sequel trilogy, and here's the thing. They made billions of dollars, and they continue to make billions of dollars with the parks, with the merchandise and stuff like that. So I think they're better off redeeming these characters. Giving Kylo Ren a Fall to the Dark Side story will redeem the character of Kylo Ren. Now, I don't think Kylo Ren needed much redeeming at all. I think Rey is one that needs way more redeeming than Kylo does. But I think if you do redeem those characters, then now you make more money. You make more money. And that's what it's all about, That's what it's all about for them, I should say. Yeah. Darth Revan says, personally, I just want them to go to the Old Republic. And we probably won't see that for at least a few years. Yeah, the Old Republic's not coming anytime soon, I don't think. Pause. It's just not coming. Pause. There's too much to go to before we go to the Old Republic. I think the Old Republic will come eventually, and hopefully it's done correctly when it does come. Pause. But I don't think it's anytime soon. Yeah. Raheem's World, what's up, Raheem? How we doing? Says, I'm going to keep it positive. I pray that Kathleen Kennedy gets it, and hopefully a Ben Solo movie. I agree, Raheem. I love to keep it positive. We love to keep it positive around here. We know this. But yeah, I agree. I think Kathleen Kennedy will figure it out, or she'll leave, which was probably the better option, and we will get some good quality movies. Cole says, Kylo has such a unique physique. Ben Solo, you mean? So they'd have to pick the right person. He seems to be fit, though it depends on how long before the sequels the movie takes place. That's true. It definitely does depend on that. I'm guessing you're going to see him on the light side first, and then he falls to the dark side. I don't know. I really don't. I think your best bet is to do a trilogy in between the originals and sequels. Have the first be the Mandoverse kind of thing with Thrawn. The next one be Luke's Jedi Academy. And then the third one be Ben Solo's Fall to the Dark Side. I think that's your best bet. Do a trilogy. Do an entire trilogy where you got this whole Thrawn thing fleshed out in the first movie. The second movie is Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple with Snoke coming in, the First Order coming in, Ben Solo falling to the dark side. And then the third movie is Ben Solo and the Knights of Ren completely just destroy Luke's Jedi Temple. And that'll lead you right into the sequel trilogy. Not only that, it'll make the sequel trilogy better, elevate it for a lot of fans, but it will give us that story that we've been missing out on. Luke's Jedi Temple. Everybody wants to see that. You want to fall in love with the characters that were trained by Luke Skywalker and then get slaughtered by Ben Solo, just like Order 66. I think it would be the perfect plan. We need a trilogy in between the originals and sequels, and it would be called the prequel-sequel trilogy. I mean, come on. The prequel-sequel trilogy, who wouldn't watch that? Or would it be the sequel-prequel trilogy? Hang on. The prequel-sequel... Somebody in the chat help me out on that. What would that? Well, Keith says, honestly, Couldn't have said it better myself. I think that would fix the sequels for a lot of fans. I do too. Seeing the fall, not only just seeing the fall of Ben Solo, but seeing Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple. Because another very important thing to make the sequels better is to see why Luke Skywalker goes to Ahch-To. To really see why. It's not, maybe it is partially because his nephew has a bad dream and he tries to kill him. That actually happened, but why does that happen? That's the big question. Why does Luke try to kill his nephew? It wasn't just one specific event. It's probably Palpatine in his head. It's probably him knowing that if his blood gets taken by the First Order, then there's going to be an army of cloned Luke Skywalkers. That's what I think Grogu is setting up in The Mandalorian. Grogu's blood is taken by the Empire, and they create Force-sensitive clones of Moff Gideon. They do. That actually happens. There's Force-sensitive clones of Moff Gideon. They exist. Now, they didn't actually get to be, like, displayed or whatever. They just died and we got my clones. But they existed, and they were really a thing. Force-sensitive clones of Moff Gideon. So, it happened with Grogu's blood. And Dr. Pershing says he needs more midichlorian count, higher midichlorian count to make better Force sensitives. I don't know. He says something like that in Mando Season 2. And I think that's Luke Skywalker. I think Luke Skywalker is the key to that. If he gets his blood cloned by the First Order, the galaxy's doomed. And he has to go into hiding. I think that's a perfect explanation. And I think if you do a trilogy, a prequel, sequel, trilogy, then that will give you the answers that you're looking for and elevate the sequels for a lot of fans. Yeah. Fearless says, I mean, the Rey movie could be kind of boring. What should happen? The Star Wars is just building the new Jedi Order. It doesn't really sound like war. Well, you'd have to introduce a new villain, of course. Fearless. You'd have to introduce somebody, a new Sith or Abeloth, maybe, if that they're setting up with Balin, which I would absolutely love. If Abeloth went into Rey and she became pure evil, sign me up. She starts her own Jedi Order, and then she becomes the pure, literal, living embodiment of evil in Abeloth. Sign me up. That would be incredible. That'd be incredible. Yeah. Cole says, I'd have Abeloth attacking the weakened new government led by that is established with Poe. Interesting. And racing against Rey and Finn in a former army of Force users. Oh, in any form of Force users. So you'd have Abeloth take over the government first, is what you do. Interesting. Darth Revan says, they're marketing it as the Rey movie as much as I don't want it to. She's probably the main character. That's true. They're definitely marketing it as the Rey movie right now, at least. At least fans are doing that, It's not really... Lucasfilm didn't come out and say, this is the Rey movie. They just said this is going to be the new Jedi Order movie following Rey 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. So we just are calling it the Rey movie. So, yeah. Caleb says, is the Rian Johnson trilogy still happening? No. So the Rian Johnson trilogy is not happening. I'm sure Ryan would tell you differently, but Kathleen Kennedy has come out and said, oh, Ryan's a busy guy. He's working on those Knives Out movies for Netflix. He's a busy guy. That's Kathleen Kennedy's response to the question of, is the Rian Johnson trilogy still happening? So I'm going to say no. Just because of what The Last Jedi did to the Star Wars fandom, I don't think it's going to happen. Because you kind of want to see what he would do. Interesting. Plop Rian Johnson down with a camera in a new galaxy where Ahsoka has taken place in a post-Episode 9 world. Interesting. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing the Rian Johnson trilogy, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Just because of what happened with The Last Jedi. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it, but I don't think it's going to happen. That's where I'm at. Cole says, after the New Republic has been so utterly destroyed, perfect timing for Abeloth to attack. That's true. I mean, the whole galaxy's in a disarray after the sequels. Think about it. The First Order's dead. The New Republic's dead. The Starkiller base in The Force Awakens blows up an entire system. And it was the capital system of the New Republic at the time. So now you have no government, no empire, and everybody's just kind of like, well, what do we do now? Leia's dead. Mon Mothma, I'm guessing is dead. I don't even know. Mon Mothma's dead. Admiral Holdo's dead, thank God. Like, there's no real leaders left except for Poe Dameron, who really is not a good leader. But we'll see. Darth Bevan says, why would they go with a Rey movie first when they have a movie with Thrawn, Ahsoka, and Luke? Honestly, because they're dumb. That's the only explanation to that question, Revan, is because they are dumb. It's literally the only... It's because they are so out of touch that they don't understand. They don't understand. They just don't. Oh, well, I just poured water on myself. I thought it was empty, guys. Damn it. I didn't pee myself. It was the water. Ugh. Can I please get some Good Cuts Follow orders just because I freaking poured water on myself? Damn it. Okay. Moving on. Salty says, the kid from Stranger Things could be Ben Solo, but he'd be 6 years older. Yeah, I get you. I get where you're coming from, Salty, but even, what's his face? Wolfheart, whatever his name is, Finn, even him as 6 years older would still be way younger than Adam Driver, you know? Caleb says, or heck, let Rian Johnson make a movie set in the new galaxy about the origins of the Night Sisters. Wow, that would be kind of cool. That would be very cool, actually. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you have a director like Rian Johnson, who's a pretty good director outside of Star Wars, don't plop him in to the new trilogy that you're creating with no plan, by the way, and tell him to do whatever he wants and then be upset about the outcome. You know what you're getting yourself into by doing stupid stuff like that. Anthony says, because Kathleen Kennedy wills it, is why the Rey movie comes first. She wants to further validate that Rey Palpatine, making her the ultimate Jedi. I'm sure KK is not happy about the love for Ahsoka, Sabine, Grogu, Kara, and Jason, etc. I'm sure she's happy about it because she's making more money, but she definitely does want to create Rey as this ultimate Jedi. Yeah. Thanks for the Good Cups follow orders, by the way. Cole says, they did a good job on making Ben seem younger in The Last Jedi with VFX. Perhaps the same method? Yeah. I mean, the deepfake technology is so good, and Ben Solo, especially Adam Driver, having so much content to work off of, you could easily make him a little bit younger. Like, you're not talking about Luke Skywalker younger. Like, Mark Hamill's 70, something like that, or 60s, 70s, something like that. He's a lot older, and you're de-aging him like 40 years to make Luke Skywalker. 40 years. You'd only have to de-age Adam like 10. And that's not that crazy of a difference. Like, look at Anakin in Ahsoka. Look at Anakin Skywalker in Ahsoka. He looked freaking fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what the hell? Salty Texas Ranger says, the only way it will make any sense of this crap is to delete The Last Jedi. Well, not necessarily, because to make The Last Jedi better, you'd have to explain Ben Solo's fall and explain why Luke Skywalker went into hiding. Or at least a better explanation as to why Luke Skywalker went into hiding. Yeah, you don't have to get rid of it, you know. That would certainly lead to a new beginning. Maybe Anakin can intervene and change the storyline, but KK and co wouldn't allow that. That's the thing, too. If this Rey movie is really a new beginning, all hopes of really getting any sort of Anakin involvement would be thrown out the window. You know? Yeah. Never forget, there was dinosaurs, no war, and diversity twice on the whiteboard of Lucasfilm's story group. And there were only 3 in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, and we got all 3 in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, so that story, that whiteboard thing was for the High Republic, right? Salty, that whiteboard thing you're talking about was for the High Republic when they talked about dinosaurs, no war, and diversity. Yeah, so that was because the High Republic is extremely diverse. Like, it comes to aliens and all this other stuff. It's very diverse. Dinosaurs, it also involves dinosaur-esque characters. One of the characters has a little hound that breathes fire. And no war is because the High Republic takes place in a time of peace, or it's supposed to be a time of peace, until the Nihil or the Nile come in and take over, or not take over, but cause havoc. Yeah. We need Ben Solo episode of Tales of the Jedi. Austin, that's a fantastic idea. What if we get Ben Solo in season 2 of Tales of the Jedi? Now, I've asked you guys this many times before, but I love to keep hearing it from you guys. Which 2 Jedi, because 2 Jedi were in the first season, Ahsoka and Count Dooku, which 2 Jedi would you want to see the most in a second season of Tales of the Jedi? Because honestly, Ben Solo might be up there on the list for me. Seeing him as a Jedi at Luke's Jedi Temple, there was some... Let me pull this up. While you guys do that, let me pull this up on Tweetar. On the Tweetar? Oh, it's called X. Oh, my fault. X. I couldn't pronounce it. My fault. On the Tweetar. So this... there's something called Lucasfilm Animation, of course, which is the animated stuff from Lucasfilm, which is Bad Batch, Clone Wars, Rebels, that stuff. Tales of the Jedi. So Lucasfilm Animation is set to talk at Light in... I'm pretty sure it's Light in... Like, LI is capitals because it's Light Industry... whatever the hell it's called. Expo at 2023. So let's read this article. Let's read this article. Because this could be introducing the next Star Wars animated show, and honestly, it should be a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show. If we're going the animated route, it should be. Because after Bad Batch Season 3, Bad Batch is over. So what's next for animation? Let's find out. Well, that's too far away. Let's zoom in some more. That's too far away. That's better. That's better. Let's drag it over to the side here. The Lightbox Expo is back for the 5th year. This convention will take place from October 27th to October 29th. That is this week, ladies and gentlemen. That's in 2 days, or 3 days. 3 days. This weekend. Bringing artists together from seasoned professionals to those new to the craft, allowing for many educational opportunities, networking, social, blah, 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 blah. Some exciting Star Wars events are occurring through the weekend, including a discussion about the Bad Batch and animation as a career. Lucasfilm will also have a portfolio review table for prospective artists. What's interesting about this is kind of like the Comic-Con of animation type dealio, and this is the 5th year of it. But having a Bad Batch panel, of course, we'll talk about Bad Batch Season 3, and maybe we'll get a trailer this weekend for Bad Batch Season 3, because there is already a trailer that exists out there for Bad Batch Season 3. It was shown to the people at Star Wars Celebration. Anybody in the chat at Star Wars Celebration this year in April? Anybody see that trailer? So there is a Bad Batch Season 3 trailer that already exists. So maybe that trailer will come out this weekend, which would be really cool. We'll see about that one, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but this event will take place on Friday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. The panel is titled The Life of a Shot Within the Star Wars Universe. Focusing on the Bad Batch, the panel describes taking a shot from the Star Wars The Bad Batch through our pipeline. From the script page through design, assets, animation, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what's interesting is this happens on Friday. So this Friday, on the 27th, I believe it is, from 2 to 3 is when they'll be talking about the Bad Batch. But will this come with a trailer, or will this just be talking about it? So they have multiple events. So the next event is from 11 to 12 a.m. on Saturday. Your career path in animation. That might not be too much. And then on Saturday at night from 5 to 6, there's something about Star Wars Visions, which is interesting. Because after Bad Batch Season 3, there's no scheduled next animated show. In the same way that Clone Wars Season 7 set up the Bad Batch, I think the Bad Batch might actually set up a animated show in the Mandoverse era. Now, with Mount Tantus, and Dave Filoni saying that Mount Tantus is important towards what Thrawn is doing, he didn't say that specifically. He kind of alluded to that, so I don't want to be spreading fake news, But he did allude to that Mount Tantus being set up in the Bad Batch is supposed to be setting up something further down the line. I think he might do an animated show in the Mandoverse era. Now, maybe that involves this whole Thrawn thing, or it could involve Luke's Jedi Temple. Because Luke's Jedi Temple is not just Luke's Jedi Temple. It's Luke going on adventures around the galaxy, finding Sith artifacts, finding Jedi artifacts, possibly showing up to Mount Tantus. Because for years, like, Luke doesn't start his Jedi Temple until he's starting it in the Book of Boba Fett. And that's years, 6 years, I believe, after Endor, after the Battle of Endor, is when the Book of Boba Fett takes place. 6 years, I believe. Somebody fact check me on that. 6 years. So could we see in between those 6 years, Luke Skywalker going around the galaxy finding artifacts? Thanks for the hearts, guys. I really do appreciate it. Makes me smile. Could we actually see Luke Skywalker going around the galaxy, getting those Sith and Jedi artifacts for his Jedi Temple? Because that's something that happens. Would it be an animation? Would it be something? What else do you guys want to see in animation? Because right now, with Bad Batch Season 3 coming out next year, there's nothing set. Nothing. So, we'll see. But that's this weekend. We could be getting either a trailer for Bad Batch Season 3 or some other announcement for the next animated project, you know? Yeah, I know. Cole says, I enjoy parts of the sequels. Rise of Skywalker can go where it belongs in its entirety, though. What? Can go where it belongs? You mean the trash? I'm confused. Salty Texas Ranger says, I'm guessing it's to... what? I'm not reading that because I don't know what it means. Caleb Richardson says, they should have just scrapped Rogue Squadron. They shouldn't have scrapped Rogue Squadrons. A fast-paced, action-heavy starfighter movie that would take place post-Return of the Jedi and follow the Rebellion kill squad hunting down Imperial officers would have been cool. I agree. I actually think that would have been a cool idea, and I would have loved to see that movie. But it just didn't happen. I mean, it's, again, Kathleen Kennedy canceling another project where Patty Jenkins came out roller skating around talking about her dad and how much this means to her, and then she literally went and canceled the project. Now, there could be stuff going on behind the scenes about that, but that movie was supposed to be like the next movie. And it would have been cool because there's some Imperial officers that we've seen in Mando that could have been in that movie, like Hux's dad or Captain Pelion or whoever. Like, we could see those people being hunted down sort of and escaping in that movie as well. And it would be a cool, fast-paced thing. I agree. I think it should have been made. Yeah. Eric says, I like that idea a lot. Well, there you go. I don't know what your idea you're referring to, but yes. The Fall of Ben Solo, I like it too. Yeah. The sequel prequels? Okay, so the sequels prequels is what they would be called. Got it. Yep, slow build Luke's narrative into the sequels. I agree with that. Mike, as someone who is heavily invested in the storytelling of the High Republic, I regularly scratch my head that it is so planned and well executed. While the sequel trilogy has too many other works are poorly thought up and rendered. Mike, how will Lucasfilm please both camps with Rey? Well, no, but I agree with you. I think the High Republic is the perfect example to Lucasfilm on how doing this with a plan is the way to go. So the High Republic, although I am behind, very behind, I haven't read any of Phase 2. Although I am behind, Phase 1 was very well thought out from start to finish. There was a story there. There was a well thought out story there. And I think Phase 2 and Phase 3 are going to make that well thought out story even cooler. And all the new cast of characters are all very intricate and all very cool with cool names and cool backgrounds and cool all this stuff. It's very interconnected, very thought out, very well thought out. And that's the exact opposite of the sequel trilogy. I definitely agree with you on that. But hopefully Star Wars is learning their lesson, because they learned their lesson from the sequel trilogy. And instead of doing the next sequel trilogy, they put the High Republic into effect. They planned it out. So hopefully they're learning their lesson. Revan says, isn't Abeloth infiltrating the Republic what happens in Legends? I haven't read the books, but I remember hearing something about her impersonating a senator. I have yet to read the, I think it's the the Dawn of the Jedi, something like that. There's like a whole 9 series book that involves Abeloth. I have not read that, so I don't really know, but I do know a little bit when it comes to Abeloth, and I do know that she's infiltrated the Republic before, but I don't know if she was impersonating a senator. I can't speak to that. Salty Texas Ranger says, no, I don't want to see what the round-headed buffoon would do with the trilogy. Oh, you're talking about Rian Johnson. Okay, yeah, sure, yes. KK plus Rian Johnson plus J.J. Abrams equals disaster. Well, Abeloth could really be a thing now. She can impersonate everyone, and you wouldn't see it coming. Interesting. So yeah, Abeloth is very, very powerful, and seeing what she could do on the big screen, especially after you just set her up in the Ahsoka show, like everybody and their freaking moms were like, who is calling out to Balin? That was the entire point of discussion for weeks and weeks going into the finale of Ahsoka, where who was calling out to Balin, and it wasn't physically answered, but we kind of can assume that it will be. When was that Django comic coming out? It comes out in January, I believe. January or April, I forget. Billy, I forget. But it really sets up the fact that Abeloth could be coming with the Mortis gods and stuff, the statues on the planet. Abeloth could be coming, and she would be a massive threat for this Rey movie. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Mon Mothma died 5 years before The Force Awakens. I'll take your word on that. I have no idea. When did we get dinosaurs in Kenobi? I don't think we did. No, I was talking about the High Republic. We got dinosaurs. I think what the other person was saying when they said dinosaurs in Kenobi, they were talking about the hell's the thing that he rides, like the emu looking thing. I don't know. I forget what it was called. Billy says, yo, sorry I'm late. No problem, Billy. What's up? Fearless says, I would like to see more Qui-Gon Jinn and Kanan. I don't know if you get more Kanan, but more Qui-Gon would be cool. I mean, you get more Qui-Gon in Tales of the Jedi, but getting more Qui-Gon like before the prequels, I don't know. Maybe. Ben's you're talking about Tales of the Jedi. So Qui-Gon and Kanan. Okay. So I've caught up on the chats. Here we go. Qui-Gon and Kanan would be very, very cool. Kanan, I think, would be less cool than Qui-Gon just because Kanan's not really doing much. But yeah. Darth Revan says, for Tales of the Jedi Season 2, I would have Ben Solo, Balin and Cal, or Ezra when he's stranded on Peridia. Ooh, Ezra while he's stranded on Peridia training? That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Yeah, for sure. We've had an animated show in all the movie trilogies except for post-episode 6, not counting Resistance. Yeah, definitely not. A Jedi Academy show would be great. I agree. A well-thought-out one, though, like Clone Wars Season 7 Jedi Academy, not Clone Wars Season 1 through 6. I guess you can have filler episodes because it's animation. You can do all that fun stuff with animation as well. But I want more of, like, Rebel Season 4. You know? Like just bang, 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 cool storytelling, stuff like that. Yeah. The animation style of Clone Wars Season 7 with the storytelling of Rebel Season 4. Give me that in the terms of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple, and boom, you got a fantastic show. Yeah. Anthony says, by the way, Mike, it's confirmed that Jedi Padawan Bel Zettifar and his Charhound, Bel Zettifar, I couldn't remember his name, Ember, will be appearing in Season 2 of what? Oh, in Young Jedi Adventures. I thought that was saying Tales of the Jedi. My fault. The kids show in Phase 1 of the High Republic. That's cool. That's definitely cool. Yeah, the kids show. Young Jedi Adventures is definitely a kids show. I can't get into it, but yeah, that is cool. Animated Din Djarin, it would be cool. It would be cool. Eric says, we need some scenes of the destruction of Luke's Jedi Temple, even if it's in animation. I agree. If you're going to do Ben Solo's fall and you don't want to DH Adam Driver or anything like that, then just do it in animation. You can create an incredible show in animation that will elevate the sequel trilogy. Yeah. Keto says, Anakin and Ben were both the most talented in their Jedi orders, and they were dealt with the pressure of their own legacy, Ben being the grandson of Vader and Anakin being the chosen one. True. Very true. But I want to see that. I know that's the case. I know Ben went through that while he was training, but I want to see it. You know? Billy says, oh, I already said that. Sorry. Austin says, I can't believe Balin was standing on the father's fingers at the end of Ahsoka. It was very cool. Yeah. And speaking of Clone Wars, me and my dad are on season 3. Oh, you're watching Clone Wars? That's sick. That's awesome. Fearless says, just thinking about it, Abeloth would be like Palpatine, only worse. Manipulating and spreading her evil, and nobody notices until it's too late. Yeah, she'd be incredible. She'd be like the female version of Palpatine, but literally more powerful. It'd be awesome. Yeah. Darth Bevan says, I heard rumors before Ahsoka came out that they were making an Ezra show showing his time in exile. I don't think they will do that now. I mean, they could always go back and tell the story. I think they'll do it in novels because Timothy Zahn, who did the Thrawn novels, he created the character of Thrawn in Heir to the Empire, but he also did the canon Thrawn novels. He's been talking about wanting to do a novel that talks about the time where Thrawn is stranded there with Ezra. So I think you'll get that novel instead that will show that time, and probably not an animated show. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, she could be much worse. Yes, she would be much worse than Palpatine, for sure. She would be way more powerful, that's for sure. We're talking about like a Mortis god here. She's not like a Force user. She's literally a god. So yeah, she would be very powerful. Very. Very, very powerful. And wow, this poll is kind of not really went the other way. It's still 73% of you guys want the Kylo Ren's Fall movie over the Rey movie, but 27% is a solid percent, you know? Yeah, no? All right, we do have some other news to get into here. Did anybody play? Give me a 1 into the chat if you've played Star Wars Dark Forces. Dark Forces? Did you ever play Star Wars Dark Forces? Like the old game from, I believe it's, 1995. Did you guys play that? Dark Forces? Give me a 1 into the chat if you played that. Well, it's being remastered, and it got a release date. It's February 28th. February 28th of 2024. They're releasing the remastered version of the 1995 Star Wars title, Dark Forces. So if any of you guys played that and had fun playing that and want to play the remastered thing, we watched the trailer for this on a live stream like a while ago, but yeah, that's it did not look good. That's just yeah. You're playing Survivor right now? You're playing Angry Birds on Xbox, right? That's fun. Survivor's awesome. Yeah. So before we get into this article, I got to shout it out again since we have more new people here. We have 3 new tiers of memberships on the channel. One's only 99 cents. So if you want to become a member and you haven't been able to before because the $5 was just too much, only 99 cents. 99 cents, that's it. To become a member, you can literally find that on the ground somewhere. 99 cents. To become a member, and you get awesome cool perks like the ability to join in the giveaways, of course, join in the membership only Discord portion of the Discord, to members only streams, stuff like that, and of course other things further down the line. There's also a third level that is $10 a month, and if you are at that $10 a month membership level for a whole year, you get a free lightsaber, so that would also be cool as well. So think about becoming a member. It's only 99 cents at the lowest member, and then of course $5 and $10 at the other ones. You get some awesome cool stuff, and the next giveaway is coming up in just a few weeks here, so really think about finding that 99 cents on the ground somewhere, because it's going to be a good one. Definitely a good, cool giveaway. And at some point, I'm going to have to give away a lightsaber if Kathleen Kennedy doesn't get fired by the end of this freaking year. So she better get fired by the end of this year. I'm going to have to give away a lightsaber. But you got to be a member to win that lightsaber, so only 99 cents. Any hints on the giveaway? No, not yet. I'll give you some more, as it goes, yeah. Is that 99 cents a month? Yeah. So literally only 99 cents a month to be a member. Like, that's just handing out these memberships. Like, you can win a giveaway. You have a 1 in 8 chance if you join right now to win the next giveaway. Yeah. All right, let's get into this next article. This is about how the writer's strike and actor's strike affected the galaxy far, far away. So let's look at this, because the writer's strike is over. How do you do it? Billy, there should be a join button next to the subscribe, or if that's not there, there should be a link in the description below. I'll show you right here. I'll show you in the description below. Oh, that's me. That's me. Can we smash a freaking like on this video? Like, what the hell? So, let's see. This is the stream right here. Got it pulled up on the other screen. This is the stream. Whoop. Oops. This is me. That's me saying in the comment section below. So, you click this description, the description of the video. Boom, right there. Join. Become a member. And then if you click this, it'll take you to this screen. And then you can become a Padawan for 99 cents a month, a Knight for $5 a month, or a Master for $10 a month. And with this Master thing, after 1 year, you get a freaking free lightsaber, ladies and gentlemen. But you get these awesome, cool badges that you can see in the chat right now if you become a member. Cole's in the chat. He's a member. Raheem was in the chat earlier. He's a member. Tony, Star Wars Sith, is in the chat. He was in the chat. He's a member too. So for the first month, you get this Obi-Wan thing. And then you get a Qui-Gon one. Then you get an Ahsoka one. Then you get a Vader one. Then you get a... it just keeps going on and on and on. So just for 99 cents, you get this cool badge next to your name in the chat. And you also get these cool perks like a membership-only Discord. The cool perk here is actually the giveaway. For some reason, it won't let you say giveaway in this, but whatever. Priority of reading comments, of course, and $10 off merchandise. Now, the merchandise, the store is yet to open. I'm still working on that behind the scenes, so we'll see. Yeah, that'll be open sometime within the next couple weeks here. That thing, you know? So become a member. Yeah. All right, let's get back to this article. Let's get to this article. So, this week in the galaxy far, far away, checking in on how the strikes have affected Star Wars, and of course Matthew Vaughn's quote and more. But we'll probably skip those Matthew Vaughn things because we went over it a lot on Saturday. So, blah 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 blah. This week was, how would you say, pretty darn quiet on the Star Wars front. That's true, but we did talk about a lot this week anyway. So let's. What is this? Let's just get to the good stuff. Okay, here we go. All right, Star Wars check-in with the strike. On Friday, I wrote an extensive piece with our sister site, Move. Okay, who cares? Who cares? All right, here we go. But there's too long, didn't read version. The writer's strike concluded in early October. So the writer's strike is over, but the actor's strike is still going. When the members of the writer's strike ratified their contract proposal that the negotiation committee had reached with the Hollywood studios, and everyone got back to work. So the writers are back to work. They're writing stuff, but the actors are not. It was then time to go back to the actors, which the studios did promptly, but things didn't go well. So the actors came to negotiate, and it didn't go well. Now they're back to negotiations. I believe today was the start of the new negotiations. So an announcement was made over the weekend that talks will restart on Tuesday, which is today, of the which coincides with the 100-day anniversary of the stoppage. So the actors have been on strike for 100 days. 100 days, there's been nothing going on. 100 days. After a couple weeks of heavy negotiations, the studio exited the table after a new proposal by the actors that addressed the issues of streaming residuals. There were also disagreements about the increase of minimum wage that actors were asking on their salaries to keep up with inflation, and also on the much discussed topic of artificial intelligence, of course, AI, and what they can do with deepfake technology and using actors' sort of likeness to portray a character and stuff like that. There's a lot that needed to be worked out, and it's still being worked out. So what does all this mean for Star Wars? Here we go. Well, at this point, Lucasfilm, much like most other Hollywood studios, is focusing on restarting an entire pipeline. They want the writers working on the scripts so that they can roll cameras in a few months. In the case of Star Wars, this especially affects the film side, as they wanted 2024 to be the year where they finally get a movie rolling. But there's a TV implication as well. Let me address the most of them and of most importance. Okay, so here's the Shawn Levy thing that we just talked about. Let's dive into this one. Shawn Levy is focused on Deadpool 3, which is its own set of headaches. So don't expect to see him in Star Wars anytime soon. I would say his movie would begin production at the end of next year or early 2025 because Deadpool is coming out mid next year. I think July of next year, something like that. So it's not until Deadpool 3 is over and done with until he'll kind of get going on this. Now, Dave Filoni will likely be working on his second season of Ahsoka before he puts pen and paper to his feature film. I can't imagine it will happen before the end of next summer in production, he's saying. What's interesting is we don't know for sure if Ahsoka's getting a second season, so that kind of all depends on whether or not Ahsoka gets a second season, but we'll see. James Mangold, under normal circumstances, would have already shot his Bob Dylan biopic over the summer and even edited it by now. Reports from a few months ago said that he would have started the script for his new Dawn of the Jedi movie by now. But with this actor's strike and, of course, the writer's strike, that was not able to happen. So, he could actually start working on Star Wars. So now that he's allowed to start writing, he can finally start getting to work on that Star Wars movie. Especially since Timothée Chalamet has been quite busy promoting Dune Part 2 once the SAG-AFTRA strike is settled. So production on it may be delayed a few months. So let's keep an eye on that one. Why does he talk about Timothée Chalamet like he's going to be in the movie? I don't know. But yeah, so his Star Wars movie is probably being written now, I'd guess, because the writer strike's over. So I'm guessing he's writing. We'll see. So the Lando movie, we've talked about this a little bit. Donald Glover and his brother have taken over as the writers for this movie. The Lando movie should be back to work as well. Donald Glover, who not only is starring in the series turned film, but also co-writing, has finished his work on Amazon's Mr. and Mrs. Smith series, although it is, with its January 2024 release date, he will likely be promoting it once the strikes is lifted. But besides Star Wars, Dan Harmon is also waiting for him for a Community movie. Oh yeah, they're making the Community movie. I forgot about that. So we'll see. I'm sure him and his brother are writing the movie now, but it probably won't happen for a while. Taika Waititi, his movie, we don't even know if this one's even happening. So I guess we'll see about that because it was supposed to be almost done being written. Now we just don't know if it's happening, but we'll see. Now on the TV side of things, The Acolyte was already in post-production before the strikes kind of happened. So it seems like they might be starting writing maybe a second season, what they're talking about here, which would be kind of cool because I'm hoping that show's really good. Now, The Mandalorian. Season 4 of The Mandalorian. What's going on there? The Mandalorian should be able to go back to work and shoot its fourth season shortly after the actor strike is resolved. I imagine around January or February 2024 is when they'll start filming this fourth season. Because if you guys remember, back when Mando Season 3 was happening, it seemed like they were already writing Season 4 at the time. I think Jon Favreau said something like Season 4 was already writing itself when we were doing this one. So, yeah, it seems like that's already written, Andor Season 2 had to halt production back in July when the strikes began, and they were just a few weeks away from completing production. So Andor is almost done in production, Andor Season 2. It just needs to get back to filming, which it can't do until the actor strike is over. So that will still have to continue its production. It was supposed to, the final season was targeting an August 2024 release date, and it says I doubt it will stick to that, mostly because Acolyte premiering later than expected, I assume. So October/September is likely for Andor Season 2. I wouldn't even be surprised if it went to November or December of next year for Andor Season 2. Now, Skeleton Crew. Outside of maybe some ADR work that is required in post-production, this shouldn't have been affected by the strikes. So this show is pretty much all but done, and it should be coming out sometime really early on in 2024, and they predict February 2024. I actually think even January could possibly be on that, be a possibility for this release date. So Skeleton Crew is pretty much done. It's been filmed. It's been in post-production for a while. It should be almost done. It just needs the actors to help promote it, And finally, we reached the golden product at the end point. I don't know if it's the golden project, but yes. A new Jedi Order film with Stephen Knight and directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy. A quick recap, Damon Lindelof pitched and wrote this whole thing decades after Rise of Skywalker, which focused on 2 new Jedi, blah, 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 blah. He gets canned, and now Stephen Knight is brought back in. He's the Peaky Blinders writer, Stephen Knight. And Daisy Ridley, of course, got a big fat check. So, here's what happens. So Knight was hired, and Kathleen Kennedy said back in April that he was supposed to turn in his first draft of the script in May, but the writer's strike halted those plans, and I'm assuming that the window has moved to October, perhaps even extended to Thanksgiving to give the writer some time. So that means Stephen Knight is probably finishing up the Rey movie right now, writing the Rey movie right now. So maybe that leaked title was true. Perhaps, I already read that. Lucasfilm wants this movie off the ground as soon as possible, but they know that 1, they need to get it right, and 2, they can't really move into pre-production until the actor's strike is over as well. But they gotta at least finish the script first, you know? So that's that whole thing. So yeah, then it just goes into talking more about that movie. So that's how the strikes have affected Star Wars in recent times. I mean, the actor strike is still going strong. It's definitely still going strong, so we'll see about that. Yeah. We shall see. Cole says, we're going to get some even better income from this channel by adding extra member options. Well, yeah, that's kind of the memberships are the ability to sort of keep this thing going, you know? It's the best way to support the channel is by watching the stuff and becoming a member. It's the best 2 ways. It's just watching and becoming a member. That's it, you know? Do the magic hand thing. Oh, you will become a member. It's only 99 cents. You have 99 cents in your couch cushion. You will become a member. There you go. Imagine if Lando is a bigger disappointment than Solo. I mean, I don't get the whole turning Lando into a movie idea. I think it would honestly be better off as a show. The whole issue with Solo was that it failed. It failed miserably. So trying to just recreate that like as a movie, it would be dumb. I think it's way easier to do Lando in a show. I think. But I don't know. Billy Smith says, I can't find my card right now, but when I do, I will join. All right, thanks, Billy. Thanks. I appreciate it. All right, so I got a video coming out tomorrow, maybe. If not tomorrow, Thursday, I guess. About, what's this video about? Oh, is Ahsoka alive during the time of Rise of Skywalker? That's the video I'm working on right now. So watch out for that video tomorrow. Let's end this poll, see where this poll ended at. See if the math is mathing today. Which would you rather? The Ben Solo Fall movie is 72%, and the Rey movie is 27%. That math is not mathing, but it is still very interesting that 72% of you guys would rather the Ben movie than the Rey movie, and the Rey movie is coming out in a few years. The Rey movie is the first movie to come out, actually, and it does not seem like the fandom is all that intrigued about it, you know? Do we got any other anything else you guys want to talk about when it comes to Star Wars news? Got anything else going on? What do you guys want to talk about? Anything else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about something? I feel like there was something we were supposed to talk about. I just can't remember. What do we think, chat? Anything? So, just a brief recap of the stream in general. Shawn Levy movie with Ben Solo's Fall to the Dark Side would be incredible. So that was kind of the gist of the news today, is Shawn Levy movie, and of course the Rey movie getting a possible title, A New Beginning, which would be kind of cool, very generic, but honestly probably just a working title. We'll see. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're at with Star Wars right now. Deleted scenes? What are you talking about? What deleted scenes? Let's see. Anything else? There's no other Star Wars news going on right now. It's a slow time for Star Wars, that's for sure. But there's still a bunch of cool stuff going on in the background, especially with all these strikes ending and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that was all that we wanted to go over today. Except for that Dark Forces remastered thing. It looks terrible, guys. I'm not even going to lie. It looks awful. But that's just me. Deleted scenes of Attack of the Clones? What are you talking about, Austin? There's deleted scenes from Attack of the Clones somewhere? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You guys want to see the intro thing again? Were you guys here for the intro? You guys want to see the intro? We have a sick new intro, guys. It was quite fantastic. Be on time next time and you won't miss the intro. God damn. We're playing the intro again because it's so sick. I mean, come on. Is that not the sickest intro you've ever seen in your lives? Whew. That's so good. So good. So good. So good. Let's watch the Attack of the Clones deleted scenes. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, so I don't know how to watch them. Ian, what's up? Ian says, ooh, I like your intro. Thanks, Ian. It's not really an intro, though, because we're already at an hour and 45 minutes. What the hell? Already an hour and 45 minutes in. That's crazy. That's crazy. Fearless says, I love it. Thanks, Fearless. I love it too. I thought it was quite fantastic. I came up with it myself last night. Yeah, we had a lot of behind the scenes. Like, I didn't release the video on Sunday because we did a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Let me pull up these badges again for you guys who are members. If you're a member, again, only 99 cents. Only 99 cents. You get these cool badges next to your name when you're in the chat. You get some giveaways and stuff like that. Amazing, cool things. So this badge is when you first become a member. This is the first badge you get. It's Obis Lisabar. And then you get Qui-Gon's in your second month. Then you get, who's third month? Third month's Ahsoka. Ahsoka, your third month. And then you get Vader, 6th month. And then 1 year, you get Luke Skywalker. Sorry, Anakin Skywalker. And then it's Luke's. But yes, you get some awesome, cool things next to your name. If you join at the 99-cent thing, you get some cool stuff like giveaways, Discord, members-only streams. If you join at the $5 thing, you get more than that. I can't think of it off the top of my head. And if you join at the $10 level, you get a free lightsaber at the end of a year of being a member. So yeah. Those are the new cool things behind the scenes. We got new badges, we got new membership levels, and of course we got the new intro. Some cool stuff going on behind the scenes. We're working on the shop still with the Good Cups Fall orders, cups, and some other stuff going on in the background. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And we're coming up on 2,900 subscribers, which is bonkers. We could hit 3,000 by the end of the year was the goal. So I'm hoping we can get to that 3,000 by the end of the year, which would be very, very cool. Yeah. So much love to all of you guys. I am going to get on out of here. We've been going for almost an hour and 50 minutes, almost 2 hours. So I'm going to get on out of here. You guys are the absolute best. Watch over that video tomorrow. Of course, live stream on Thursday, live stream on Saturday, and live stream on every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the rest of your lives. A huge shout out to Star Wars Sith for the very generous $5 hauler. Huge shout out to Keto for the very, very, very generous $5 hauler. Did I just say that? $2 hauler from Sith, $5 from Keto. And becoming a member for Star Wars Sith, appreciate it a whole lot. I think we're up to 8 members. I could be wrong. 8 members. I could be wrong, but I'll have to double check. We are up to 8 members on the channel, which are fantastic people, fantastic members. Much love to all of you guys. I am going to get on out of here. Smash a like on this video if you have not already. Hit subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video. And my pretty face will show up in the recommended feed of yours. And may the force be with you. Always. See, guys, I made this intro thing, but the button is the same button that was for the old intro thing and exit thing. So now I don't know where the stupid button is. I found it. I found the button, guys. What a great stream. What a great show. What a great stream. What a great show. You guys are the absolute best in the entire freaking galaxy. Huge shout out to all you guys for being here. Huge shout out for you guys being the greatest community in the freaking world. You know? Ian says, good night, Mike. I really need to double check the times. Yeah, come on. Get on that. Get on that. Double check those times. All right. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your lives. And good night, everybody.